This is Pokemart TCG, aka the host, the gamesman, aka Mike Dabs, back in the house, guys, for another awesome video. What's going on, my dudes, my guys, and my girls, my Pokemart family? All right, guys, got an awesome video lined up for you, and also want to let you guys know that we have a giveaway going on the channel right now. This is your last full week, and this coming Sunday will be our giveaway. The 30th will be our giveaway night at 8 p.m. We're gonna do a live giveaway. So you guys have an opportunity to enter in. All you U.S. subscribers, all right, U.S. subscribers only. Must be subscribed to the channel, bell notification on, drop a comment in the video, not in this video, but in my playlist video. Just listen carefully before you go and jump on and start commenting in this video. Go to my playlist for the June giveaway playlist announcement, giveaway announcement. Comment JG and a number from this wheel 1 through 30 in the comment section of that video. And that gets you entered in. The JG gets you entered in for the June giveaway. The number that you are going to comment along with the JG gets you in to possibly win a subscriber pack. All right, so we got some stuff we're giving away outside of the monthly giveaway in a form of a Pokemart TCG subscriber pack. You got a chance to win one of those by commenting a number. So comment a number on the on that along with the JG abbreviation. For our monthly giveaway on June. Come back here this coming Sunday, June 30th at 8 p.m. Eastern Pacific time, and we're going to do a live, giveaway here using a random comment picker to pick our winners from for the monthly giveaway and for a subscriber pack. So good luck to all you guys. Go to the playlist for that video for the June giveaway. Get yourself entered in. Now, without further ado, going on with my video that went out about a week ago. The video was titled, "How come none of the Pokemon investor channels and PSA graders talking about this?" And exactly what I got titled here today is huge profits, or whatever that thing is titled, and then to be made with jumbo cards if you grade to PSA and they get a 10. And I'm going to read you some comments before I get clouded in the comment section. I'm going to go over questions, and I'm going to answer those questions that were left on that video concerning my opinion or whatever on the jumbo cards. So we're going to go over the questions, and I'll answer those questions. So Dr. Brian G, a subscriber to my channel, asked, he said, "What are the pop numbers on the jumbos? Probably low." I'm going to answer that for you. Now, PTC Trader 9628 is a subscriber to the channel also. Last week I was telling you guys I didn't know what the price is to grade jumbo cards. Obviously, people who grade or know more about grading with PSA know the prices. So PTC Trader put that jumbos cost $100 to grade, and it's going to be a loss unless you get a 10. What are the chances that happens the way the jumbo cards were packaged? It's a loser's play. So PTC Trader says that grading jumbos doesn't make sense because they're $100 to grade, and what's the chances of getting a 10? and what's the chances of it, because the way the jumbo cards are graded. So we're going to go over that as well. Albert Tutru, this is about 3 days ago, he commented, "Nothing new, bro. PSA 10, close to impossible to get in a jumbo." Okay? So those were my comments. So to get a PSA graded 10 specimen of a jumbo, next to near impossible, and then PSA jumbos cost $100 a grade, and the way they were packaged, there's no way or hardly ever a chance to get a graded 10, and it's not worth it. It's a loser's game. That's what we got going on, right? All right. But, all right. So, I'm going to answer those along the video, but stay tuned. Stay tuned, because I have the answers for you for that. Those answers will be answered, and we're going to go over it. All right? So, without further ado, guys, I'm going to back it all up. I got the data. We're going to back it up, what I say, and then you can make up your own decision then, because, you know, here's the thing. A lot of you guys are on the fence, even with fact when we talk about investing into sealed product and all of this. When's the best time to get in? Oh, it's a loser's game. There's no money to be made. Should I buy this at this price? You know, I'm going to wait for the bottom. I think I'm going to be able to get a better place somewhere else. And if, then, when, do, I don't know. And why should I buy now? You guys are all mixed up. Even in the investing game, that you don't know when you should be buying booster boxes, you don't know when you should be buying this, you FOMO in, and now someone talks about grading, and then you don't know if you should be buying. Oh, the cards are slapped, they've been printed, they're hard to grade, blah blah blah. Hey, cards are hard to grade to get PSA graded cards in the regular cards. So you know, there's no difference in jumbos trying to get cards graded. If you're going to grade, you look for you're going to grade 10s, right? You're trying to when you go to card shows and you go to card shops, right? You go to find gradable cards, right? There's no sense in grading a card unless you think it's going to get a 10, right? That's obvious. The fact, you want to make smart money choices, right? When you buy, even in booster, when you buy investing for modern Pokemon, right? Factory sealed stuff. You want to buy the factory stuff, the sealed stuff, the booster boxes, right? For long term. Well, you're putting your money to work, right? So, yeah, it's obvious that you need to find clean cards, right? And that's the bottom line. You need to find clean cards. And how are you going to find them? Well, the thrill is in the hunt. You got collector cons, you got card shows, you got card shops, and then you got Facebook Marketplace, Mercari, eBay, TCG Player, where people are selling these cards, you know, raw cards for loose little ones, promos and all that. And there's an abundance to find if you go on the hunt. So that's what you got to do, guys. Like, you got to find, you know, you got to put your mind to work, look around, dig through the dirt, and find cards that you can grade to get 10s. How is it a loser's play? It's only a loser's play if you're buying cards that are not gradable, if you're buying them off eBay and they're not centered up. It's the same thing with the little cards, guys. You got to go and hunt for gradable cards. It doesn't take an Einstein here when you're dealing with jumbo cards to find gradable cards. You guys got to stop making excuses when there's plays to be made. And that's all I hear is the whiny babies, the little Timmies, I don't know. Oh, the cards came in with plungers and I can't get them. They got nicks and dings on them and ba-ba-da-ba-ba-boop and whatever, right? Stop making complaints. The same thing you guys do every time there's new sets or you don't know when to buy. All you guys are whining, crying, complaining. Oh, they printed too much, or there's too much of that, or not enough of this, and I can't grade these. These are too hard to find. All excuses. Stop making excuses for things that you should. There are plays to be made. For the people that want to do them, there's plays to be made. So, without further ado, I'm going to go into my collection of jumbo cards, and we're going to, we're going to go look at my jumbo cards, and then we're going to go in. So it's going to be kind of a longer. We're going to draw the video out, and I'm going to go over some cards, and I don't even know why I'm sitting down. I should be standing up. But I got a bunch of hollow Nolan Wright shoes, older cards. Now, I'm going to go over the backs. These are you guys that are talking about, oh, the cards were in plungers and they're all dinged and damaged. Not my cards. And mine came right out of boxes. Look how clean these guys are. I mean, look how clean the backs are. And we're going to talk about that, guys, as well, because a lot of you guys making excuses when there are plays being made. Look how clean these backs. There's no nicks and dings on these. Some of them may have some nicks, but they're not bad. I mean, they're not like crazy. A lot of these are super clean. So I don't know where you guys are talking about damage on the cards and all of this stuff. Always making excuses for why you can't find cards, gradable cards and stuff in jumbos, and it's a loser's play and all this sense. You guys must not have the cards I got. I don't know. You're buying the wrong boxes. I don't know. So that was a Nolan Wright shoe. I got Dragonite here, Dragonite EX, and look how clean these are. There's some, like, maybe some little, you can see that. But for the most part, man, most part, and is that a piece of fuzz on that one? All right, that's got a line on it. But probably from sitting, because mine aren't like being best protected. And I had these for years, guys. And they're not protected. But Dragonite, we're talking about getting cards right out of a box. Getting cards right out of a box to grade and finding those specimens, man, because they're there. They're there. And this is the Beware, guys, the Beware GX. I'm just going over fronts and backs on some of these. I'm not going to go over all because this will be a ton of a drawn-out video. Beware GXs. These are grading plays for certain cards. Now, not all cards. Not all cards, you're going to find a 10. But some of these guys are gorgeous. Gengar EXs. I got multiple copies of those. Glade EXs, multiple copies of those. And like I said, you're going to find 10s. You're going to look for the best centered ones, the best cards without whitening on the back. If you got a collection of these, this is what you're going to do now before you start buying. You're going to go through your collection, look for gradable cards, look for gradable specimens, right? What's going on, Epic Tube? All right. Now, knowing that, you know that a graded card, jumbo, is going to cost you $100 to get graded. You're not going to send jumbo cards in that are not going for good money. And I'm going to show you specimens, and you capitalize on the specimens that are going for good money. Obviously, you're not going to go with cards that aren't going for good money, because the grading fee for a jumbo is $100. Then you got to pay shipping and all that stuff to get it back. You're going to go through your collection, and then you're going to buy raw cards. Look at eBay sold completed for raw cards for gradables. I have multiple copies of these jumbos, and some of these guys have lower population reports than regular issue cards. Regular issue, doesn't matter. There's a lot of jumbos out, but a lot of the jumbos, guys, have lower pops in PSA grade form than the regular cards that are printed. There are less jumbos than there are of other cards, because you only get one per box, and how many box sets are there made? There are more of the littler cards printed than they are the jumbo. So it makes them, the population reports, extremely small, because the amount of gradable 10s that you're going to have to find. This is the a Nolan, is it the Nolan? Ash's Green Ninja EX. This is from an older box set. Some of these are promos, some of them aren't. You have the Kangaskhan EX, GX cards. I have multiples of that. And then you have, is that, yeah, it's all Kangaskhan's. GXs. This is from the older, from when I collected, man. So, you have the full arts. Like some of them only have one. Raichu GX full art. These are textured. Some of them have really good centering on them. Like you can grade these. Like this is probably a good gradable copy. Let's see the back. So there's the back. There is some like bottom things, but like I said, they're going to give you the same leniency on a spec here or whatever. But just imagine if you had the littler card too. You can pair them up and sell both of them as a pair. The pops on these are extremely low, guys. Extremely low. There are grading plays to be made with these jumbos, and I'm going to bring up evidence of that, and I'm going to go over cards. So these are the Solomon's GX Full Arts. And these been sitting in this big bin. These are all the cards, guys. Look. These are all the cards that were sitting in my big bin right there. I emptied them all out. I'm showing you all my cards. So I have cards from 8 years of being in here. Here, I'll just grab all of these so I can take a seat. There's a Sidgewai GX Full Art. There is a Kramer, is that a Crobat VMAX? Meowth VMAX. Urshifull. Some of these I only got a couple of, but there's another Nolan. A couple more VMAXs of that. Urshifull VMAX. Caesar. Yeah. Oh, yeah. They sell the sleeves. Yes, Epic. Exactly. They sell the sleeves. This is the Caesar EX. They sell the PSA gradable sleeves. You can put the sleeves over the PSA card. I'm telling you, you know, the last video, that video that I did, talking about where no, let me see how many views that thing got. Where that video, let me see where I'm at here. Pokemart. 385 views on that video, guys. 385 views on that video where no investors are talking about these gradable jumbo cards. Here is the Charizard GXs from, I think these are from Hidden Fates. Tons of them. And tons of cards, man. There's the Dragapult from Celebrations. Tons of them. This is tons of product that I opened up. I have the Morpeko V-Union. Two of those types. The Mass Buffett EX and the Skeledirge EX little cards. They grade those as well. Here's another Charizard EX cards. The jumbos of the Charizards. Look how many I got. Stacked. There must be about 25, maybe 30 of these Charizard EXs. EX cards. Jumbos. Who has these sitting around, right? Who's grading? The pops are so low. They're lower than every card that is out there in PSA. That's gradable in the smaller card. These have lower pops than even those. And that's why it makes their play, but I'm going to show you. Like I said, evidence is in the proof, right? Dustmane Necrozma. Some of these, you know, the throwbacks to the XY Sun and Moon era, where, I mean, hey, these cards can be graded, guys. The total thing is, these cards can be graded. There are tons of these cards, guys. Tons of them. Mewtwo EX. Verizon V. Then you can go into your V-Stars, Full Art V-Stars. Leafeons, popular Pokemon, in-demand Pokemon. Guys, if you stay with that kind of stuff. Marshadow GX. Look at all of those. You mean to tell me I may not have a 10 in here? And all it takes, guys, all it takes is for one to be a 10. One. But that's what you do. You pick out your best ones that have the best possibilities to get 10. And hope they get a 10. All right? That's the thing is. You want to send the gradable ones that are most likely to go 10, that you think are going to get 10s. You're not going to send 9s and jumbo 9s because it's $100. Remember, raw cards, PSA 9s only go for about the same as raw. Same thing applies to these jumbos. So why would you pay $100 if you think the card is going to get a 9? It doesn't make sense to grade a 9 card. So you gotta definitely look for those 10s. All right, this is where the thrill of the hunt is now. Is the thrill of the hunt to find jumbos that are 10s. You're looking for perfect cards. All right, you're gonna have to look for perfect. All right, for these plays to work. Yes, and it's a play to be made because a lot of people have jumbo cards stacked away. They're not making plays. They're not grading them because they may not know that they're worth that much. But like I said, I'm going to show you evidence of cards, man. These cards are worth some bank. Glaceon V-Star. The tabs up, not necessarily. That's why I have the questions that came up in my video, Harley. Came from PTC Trader and another guy. PTC Trader, I think, said that it costs $100 to grade these cards, and then because of the tabs or whatever, they were hard to get those cards graded in a 10. All right, because of the tabs, and then he said it's a loser's game. All right, so then another guy said, let's just bring that video. Let me bring that playback. Let me just go back to that video and let me see the question. Right. So Brian Gontarich said the population numbers on the jumbos probably low. Correct. PTZ Trader said the jumbos cost $100 to grade and it's going to be a loss unless you get a 10. Yes, true. It's going to be a loss if you don't get a 10. Chances of that happening, the way the jumbos were packed, that's what he's saying, because the way they were packed, the chances of getting a jumbo in a 10 is going to be a loser's play. That is false. You cannot blame, Harley, you cannot blame the tabs of death because jumbo cards, to my knowledge, guys, unless you guys got some really older boxes where they have jumbo cards and they have tabs on them, the only tabs that I know are with the smaller cards that had played in the tins and in some of these where they had tabs. The jumbo cards, we're going to rip into this box. Rip it into this box because take a look. Don't blame tabs for jumbo cards. These cards, the smaller cards, had the tabs. Now they have plungers where you can pull them out. And that's the smaller cards. The jumbo cards, don't blame the tabs of death. Jumbo cards, guys. Jumbo cards. If you go back and look at the history of all the box sets, to my knowledge, I never seen any tabs. These cards just flop out. These cards just flop out, guys. Where's the tabs at? They flop out. They flop out. They flop out. I opened up cards, to my knowledge, I only seen tabs on the smaller cards that had the issues in the tins and in these box sets. To my knowledge, all of the cards, jumbos, they just popped out. Now, I've been in here going on 9 years, and I'm going to have to look at some videos on YouTube of people opening up older product that have jumbo cards, because even Charizard Reshiram, here, I'm going to give you guys some plays, because we're going to have to do some research on older box sets, and I got to look at some older people, not older people, but people opening up box sets, seeing if any of these boxes had tabs in them. Because I don't recall, because I have everything from Sun and Moon, guys, all EX cards and stuff from jumbos. I don't have any tab issues on my stuff. But I'm going to go over some evidence, tabs in there that ain't going to open yet. Which may be true if there's tabs in those boxes, but I don't recall. Like I said, I opened up stuff from Sun and Moon, XY. Alright? So, I'm going to take this with a grain of salt. I'm giving you graded plays today on cards that I researched out. Alright? We're going to leave it at that on that. And then you can, I got something in my eye is friggin' itching. Then you can say, well, if there's cards with tabs, let's just put it for the record. If there's cards, jumbo cards had tabs, then yes, there could be an issue. But doesn't mean there's not plays. All right? So still, tabbed or no tab, there are plays to be made with cards. But I don't recall ever pulling jumbos that had a tab holding a jumbo in them. The jumbos always flopped out. They always flopped out. They always just sat underneath that plunger, the only plunger piece, the only pieces that had tabs were the top part that had the little cards. The little cards always were played with the tabs. Those every corner had a tab on them, and then or in the center where the cards had a ding or a dent in them, and every time you went to pull it out, you see the indentation on the tab. That was a big time plague that hit the little jumbo cards. Even on some of the newer stuff, they had those tabs until they removed them and put them in the cardboard. And that started out with Hidden Fates, with those honeycombs. That's when they started changing out the tins and putting the cardboard in. And then they made plungers for the newer stuff and put plungers in, because we were talking about the little promos that were getting dinged and damaged. So Pokemart handled that and put plungers in these newer card sets. They have these little plungers because the little cards were getting dinged and damaged. That was a big thing. People were talking about the promos. But the jumbo cards, to my knowledge, guys, has always been underneath this thing and always flopped out. I never seen these, to my knowledge, they just sat right in this thing, in this holder, and they just flopped out on every box set. They never had a plunger holding them down. They never had a clip, to my knowledge, holding them in. That's my stand. And I've seen every card, and that's why a lot of my cards are not banged up. They're all like, the thing is, where PGZ traders talk about the jumbo cards are damaged. The issue with jumbos, getting a nice centered card. Getting a nice centered. But backs on mine, or most of them are clean. They're just like this, or they may have a little speck here and there. Plays to be made of jumbos. All right? And here are plays. Here are some plays. And I got a ton, look. I got a ton of jumbo cards over there on the bed, guys. I mean, I can go days and days talking about all those jumbos over there. I laid them all out. I have all laid out. But I did my research prior to this video. and this is for evidence for all you guys that are just grading those smaller cards and making plays with those. There are bigger plays if you can do it with jumbos. All right, and you can buy. I got TCG player price. I got sold completed on eBay for what these things are going for, and these are just these cards. They're not. This jumbo play is not saying grading every jumbo card. All right, but the population report for all of these jumbos, all the ones I've shown on the bed, I can't even find comps on sold completed. So what does that say? There's an opportunity that does exist even if you grade those cards. Even if I grade those cards. Look, I can't even find a comp on this. Look, you mean to tell me that someone won't pay an absorbent price for this GX card? Full art? This resembles the one from Hidden Fates. This is a gorgeous GX. A gorgeous full art GX. Despite how many box sets there are, the population report still is lower than any of the smaller cards printed. All right? Maybe in comparison to the vintage of those booster box top load cards. If you want to compare jumbos to those, I think the vintage booster box jumbos may have lower pops in comparison with these, where these might rival with them. That's how low population reports. I can't find a PSA 10 on this GX card. Doesn't exist on eBay. There's no sold completed. I'm looking at the history on eBay trying to find this card in a 10, PSA 10. And you mean to tell me that this card won't go for good money in a PSA 10? I'm not going to take the walk of shame on this. I believe it will go for good money. So there are plays for even other jumbo cards. Other jumbo cards outside of the ones that I have on this paper. There are plays to be made with these jumbos, and since no one is doing it to the extent to where everybody else is going, just making the plays with the small cards and the small promos of these jumbos, everybody's making plays with PSA with the small cards because that's what everybody knows. Everybody just knows the PSA small cards, and people prefer the small cards. But what I'm saying here, guys, is there is a market for jumbo graded cards. And if I'm lying about that, then there wouldn't be any sold completed on eBay. So there is a market. There is a market for graded jumbo cards. Whether it's one a month, one a day, that's going to be based on how many people are grading them. If there's not that many people grading these cards, and there's only one person or a couple of sellers selling them, and they're making those plays, then they're making those sales, and they're making that money. All right? That's what I'm saying. And that's where I'm talking about on where I researched. I looked at Pacific cards only from what I can find on eBay sold completed for cards that have a history already. These other jumbos, there may be plays for these because they're not on eBay. No one has them. And if you do, there's an opportunity. And I'm gonna share the opportunity. But here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going over cards, so a Pacific line of cards. There's only about six cards here that I'm gonna go over that have a pop report that I can share with you, and it has a history of sold completed. So, the first one, if you got this card, glad for you. If you got a nice, well-centered, see how much it costs to get graded. And if you got a bunch of other jumbos, or if you're trying to make grading plays, and you got one of this card in a nice center, try to find more of them. Send all of them in a submission. All of them together. Don't try to send them in, singly. Send them in all together. Yeah, it may be expensive because it's $100 a card. Send PSA gradable cards. So, this first card we're going to talk about, all right, this first card is the Reshiram and Charizard GX. And it's a tag team, kind of like alternate art. This full art. And it is the SM201. So, How you find that out? There's a number right down there. Right there. How you find out if it's a promo? It tells you right there. This is a promo. Came in a box set of the Charizard Reshiram GX box set. This is a promo card. Now, TCG Player, if you go to TCG Player, you search for this card. This card, if you buy it raw, there are multiple sellers. I didn't get the exact count, but there's not a lot of sellers with these cards, all right? There are sellers selling them, and there are some cards in 50s, some cards in 16 of this, and 24. So some cards don't have a lot of people selling them. So there could be plays to be made if you buy out, like people say, they're buying out certain cards. You're buying them because you want to remove them from the market to grade them. So you're hoping that out of the buyout, out of 20 cards you're buying at $9.74 of this card on TCG Player, that hopefully 3 of them have a gradable, you can get a 10 out of them. All right? So this card, super clean, guys. You can check the corners on it. This card is super clean. There's some little, well, that's a, yeah, it's just a, yeah. I don't even think that, yeah, it's clean, top and bottom. Centering wise, I mean, this card could, well, it's not going to get a 10 because there's more at the top and the bottom is light. All right, but this card will cost you on TCG Player $9.74 for this jumbo. If you go on TCG Player right now, raw. Loose card on TCG Player. Now, there may be a chance to get a 10 specimen because how many people on TCG Player are grading jumbos? If no one's grading these cards except for one seller or something, then there's movement to be made. All right? Now, if you get this card, check this out, Harley. If you get this card, you buy it off TCG Player. You buy multiple copies on TCG Player. You got some extra expandable money. You go on TCG Player, you buy this card for $9.74. You buy 5 copies. You spend $100, you get 10 of them. And you get 2 that are 10s, possible 10s. You send them in. Get the submissions, even after fees and all of that. Guys, this card in a PSA 10, if you get a 10, goes for $899. $899. Last sold completed with June 15th. $899 for a PSA 10. So you mean to tell me that a $10 card, $9.74 card you buy on TCG Player, if you get one that's a possibility of a 10, guys, it's raking in $900. Hands down, that's a play. That's a play. And that's a play. You could take this loose card if you have one and it's a gradable 10. You send it in. Even if you send it in by itself, the money you're going to make if you go to sell it, still going to absorb that price. You're still going to walk away with a profit. All right? Still with a profit. And you could take, here's a notion. Here's a notion for all you guys like, well, what's the bottom line on this Pokemart TCG? The bottom line is you can take this the notion that everybody has these jumbos that I hear on from Discords and I hear on channels. They got a bunch of jumbos. They're just sitting. They don't know. I hear people talking about they don't know what to do with them. Guys, there's plays to be made. You can sell them raw. All right. Get capital and then buy booster boxes with them. All right. That way you're removing all those jumbo cards. You didn't know what to do with them. You're selling them raw at TCG Player price, getting rid of them because there's some dollars to be made. And since if you're not going to grade them, then you can sell them. So there's an option there to sell them, make a little extra money, buy some booster boxes to go in your sealed collection. So you can remove all these jumbo cards you got, sell them, guys, get $1.24. Some cards are $1.24 on TCG Player. Some cards are $3. Some are $9.74. Some of them are $59 to $100. Some of these jumbos, guys, some of the older ones are some big money that you're going to buy even loose. So, but there's not a lot of them on the market. But this card, if you get a PSA 10, you buy them off TCG Player. There are people selling them. You get a 10, $899 sold completed on eBay. Sold complete. Even after fees, you're walking away with a profit big time. June 15th, last sold complete. So that's one card we're talking about. Got 5 more for you. The next one is this Charizard and Braxton, or Braxton, however you want to say it. GX tag team. Talking about tag team. Tag team is big right now. And team up, cards, jumbo. Everybody wants these tag team alternate arts and stuff like this. This is the tag team Charizard Braxton SM230. Raw card on TCG Player goes for about $9.99. There are sellers on TCG Player selling this card raw for $10. All right, then you got to pay for shipping. If you grade this card and it gets a 10, all right, if you find a grade-worthy 10, this card goes for $699 in a PSA 10. If you get a 10, the play is for 10s, not 9s, not 8s, not 7s, 10s. Okay, 10s. You got to get the 10s. So that's why there's a play with every card. When you go to shows, right, you're trying to get 10s. You're trying to find the little cards, gradable 10s. So the hunt to find cards in jumbos, that's the play, man. You're going to look for 10 specimens. Despite if the cards had jumbos, had tabs in them or not, most of them had they flopped out. So there's highly a chance that you can get a 10. Find a 10 card. All right, so that's the second card. $699 in a PSA 10, SM230, Charizard and Braxton GX Tag Team, full art. Next card is a Celebrations Pikachu V-Union card. Came in the Celebrations box, the Pikachu box, the V-Union. Now, this card goes on TCG Player raw for $4.35 each. All right, and these cards, to my knowledge, did not have any tabs that stuck to cards that will cause damage on these. These cards will go. This is SW Sword and Shield SH 139, and if you grade this and it gets a 10. It's gonna cost you $100 to grade it, and then you're gonna pay $15 or so for shipping of it coming back to you. If you get a 10, all right. There's sellers on eBay. I mean, on TCG Player selling it for raw for $4.35. So it's an investable. It's an investment of $4.35 card you can buy if you don't own it. If you grade it and it gets a 10, guys. This card goes for $209.45 in a PSA 10. So there are plays to be made even with Celebrations V-Union cards that are smaller than these jumbos. They did downsize and make them smaller. There are plays even with the smaller cards, Pacific cards, and there is plays to be made. So minus your $100 of fees, still you're walking away, even after fees, eBay fees, guys, you're probably walking away with $50, $60, $75 maybe, even after fees, after grading, even after paying eBay fees for selling it, you're still walking away with about $75 cash money that's saved, even after you pay all your fees and grading fees and stuff, getting the card graded and buying off TCG. You're still walking away with a profit. So you can buy these, grade them, sell them, and make bank, and then invest the money in booster boxes. I mean, that's all I'm talking about. This is, you can take your jumbo cards, grade them, turn around with the money, buy booster box cases, guys, and guys, you're set, right? Set. You got sealed product that you're turning jumbo cards, and literally you can just keep buying jumbo cards off TCG Player, find those gradable cards, hopefully get making those gradable plays, buying off TCG Player, maybe going on eBay even trying to find gradable cards, sourcing out on Facebook Marketplace, or Macari trying to find a good centered cards on jumbos and buying them. You can put an ad up in your local Facebook saying you're looking to buy jumbos, and you can make these plays yourself, since there are literally people still making plays with these, but not everybody's talking about these plays. Everybody's so locked onto the small cards, and everybody's missing the boat on this, and that's why I'm bringing it to light, and I'm answering questions that people hit me up on the video answering them, because it doesn't matter if the cards had plungers or not, and they had damages. The plays are, the facts, the data speaks for itself. That there are plays to be made. Doesn't matter. Don't make an excuse that a card, because of the plungers or because of the tabs, there's no play. The fact of the matter is, I'm telling you, there's a play to be made, and it's backed up by data on Sold Complete on eBay. And it's for those people that want to make this play. It's not for everyone, and everyone's not going to grade cards, but it's definitely a grade. It's a play to be made if you're going to grade to PSA, and you're going to be those ones chasing down the diamonds. You're in a diamond in the rough, and you already have some gradable 10s, and you're like, whoa, hearing my voice saying, you know what? These plays do make sense, because the compensation on what you're going to get, the return for the investment of buying the card to make those plays, it makes sense. It makes sense of all of this, guys, when there's low population reports that are lower than every card that people are grading and monitoring. There's lower pops on these jumbos than there are of those little cards. Next card up is this card. Brand new. This came out in the Crown Zenith VMAX collection box. It's a smaller jumbo of a popular Pokemon, Pikachu. It's a VMAX format. Promo SWSH 286. TCG Player, guys, they sell this card for $1.26 on TCG Player. $1.26 on TCG Player. All right, you can go on TCG Player for $1.26, $10. Maybe $11 to $12. You'll walk away with 10 of these. You pay shipping, maybe $15. You got 10 of them shipped. Guys, it's from Crown Zenith, the VMAX Pikachu promo, SWSH 286. Last PSA Pop 10. PSA 10 has a population report of only 2 in a PSA grade. 2 of this card. How long Crown Zenith's been out? And it makes facts to facts, data to data. Truth to the matter is, there's only a population of 2 in existence right now of this card in a PSA 10. And it took a best offer of a listed price of $199. So the guy took a best offer. And I'm assuming that this guy didn't take below $150. He probably took $180, $175. He still made a profit even after a $100 grading fee and selling, getting the card back from PSA, graded and shipping and paying the fees. He's still walking away where I'm going to say $50 profit even after fees. I'm just going to lowball, say $50. And now he can go back on TCG Player, buy with the $50, buy $1.26, buy a whole lot more of these with the $50, turn them and make a play out of it. Hopefully get 3 or 4 10s, turn around and sell them for $175, and then he'll be in the profit margin from the investment of the $50 from buying a bunch of these. But see, he can turn around and sell them back on to TCG Player at $1.25. Sell the ones back on there that aren't gradable, get back 100% of his money, and then grade the ones that come back that he can get a 10 on. All right, so only a pop report of 2 on this in a PSA 10. But let me spread the facts, because population reports really don't matter, right? Because if you look at population reports on the Moonbryon, doesn't matter. If you got an in-demand card, you can keep buying these cards off TCG Player. If people are buying them off eBay from you, and you keep grading the Pikachu VMAX for $1.26, you're buying them, you get PSA 10, you grade them, boom. You're making bank off of that card no matter what, because it's a popular Pokemon. And it doesn't matter about the population report, because history already tells us that if you got Moonbryon, doesn't matter that there's 10,000 PSA 10s, people are still buying them because there's not enough of that card in the PSA 10 to meet the demand. Just shoots the just puts facts to that the cards still sell. If you have a 10, there's still a market for it no matter what, because if you got the card is in demand. And if gradable cards are not in demand, there wouldn't be any people selling them on eBay. There wouldn't be any sold completed. So obviously, there are plays to be made, and people want graded jumbo cards. All right, and there may be a selling point for you to make plays on selling them on eBay. All right. So next card. Now this play, before I get shot up in the comments, oh, that card is a dime a dozen. This card may not be a play, but depending on if you do your numbers, it could be a play. All right, but you got to run numbers. You got to know the eBay fees and all that, and then the margin on this is going to be very slim. But I still wanted to put this out there to let you guys know about this. And you know, this one, there's still maybe a little meat. There's not going to be a lot of profit on the table for this one, so that's why I'm clarifying it here on the video. And that is this Marnie and Morpeko V Union. All right. Full art has a popular trainer, Marnie, and has Morpeko V Union. All right. It is a smaller card. There's a lot of these out there. I have a lot because I unboxed a lot of these Marnie Morpeko playmat boxes. There are a lot of them out. Just saying, on TCG Player, they sell this card raw for 99 cents. So for 99 cents, and then a $100 grading fee. All right, this is from Sword and Shield SWSH 289. Last sold completed as of May, sold on May 11th, 2024 of this card. It went for $139.95. All right, that's what this card went for. So if you run the numbers of 99 cents to buy the card, then to get it shipped to your house, if they do free shipping, I don't know how TCG Player sellers, you have to look at their selling shipping fees and stuff, the shipping prices, how much this card costs you to get shipped. And if you think there's a play, then you run the numbers on eBay fees and listing fees and stuff. And after sold completed, you sell the card. Bottom line, when you get the card back from grading, you know all your grading fees and the grading prices for to get the card graded and back to you. If you run your numbers, and even knowing that it goes for $139.95 under sold completed PSA 10. And you believe there's enough margin on this to grade 20, 30 of them and hopefully get a 10 on all of those and sell them for $139.95, and those profits are small for you, you believe there's room to make a little profit, then that may be a play for you. It won't be a play for everyone, all right? Knowing that. But you got to run numbers. You got to run your numbers on this one, and that's why I put this one on the bottom, that there may not be a play, but if there's enough meat, you guys that know eBay sales and fees and all of that, 15%, 13%, you can compound it and see if there's a play to be made along with the grading fee and all of that stuff and price you're paying if you got to go buy it. Then run the numbers, see if it makes sense, and see if you're going to be able to make $15 or something off every sale if you sell a bunch of these one at a time on eBay. It may be a slow mover, but people have sold. This is the last one that sold on May 11th, and there's not like any listing fee of another one. So that's another one. Now, here's one that really shocked me. Now, this was a big one, and I have another big one. I put them at the bottom. But I didn't know this, but all you guys that bought the Heavy Hitter collection box, you remember that? Came out, I believe at Sam's Club. They came out that big friggin' box. Everybody had this giant, PokeRev did it, had the big Lucario, the Lucario V. It was a Heavy Hitters collection, came with like 12 packs, 13 packs or whatever, and you paid $80 or whatever it was for that Heavy Hitters collection, $50. I forgot what the price was. If I'm really gouging the price, you guys know what it costs. I never bought one, but guys, the Lucario, here's the play. the Lucario V jumbo card that came in that heavy hitters box. I know the pull rates were garbage in them. I see people who opened them, opened the packs. Those cards that had some awesome pack selections in them. Two variant pack selections. The first one was the best one, and this new one had Lost Origins in it. But despite you're after that Lucario V jumbo card, that is the SWSH. No, it's the number 78, guys. Back it up. It's number 78. I believe it's from Astral Radiance, that Lucario V, but it's a full art version they did from the heavy hitter box. Guys, on May 10th on eBay, May 10th, 2024, a PSA 10 version of this card sold for $199 of the Lucario V ultra rare card. I believe it was an ultra rare. It wasn't even a full art. Lucario V ultra rare card sold on eBay for $199. And take a guess at this. Take a look at this, rather. Population report on how many were graded. It only has a population report of a 2 in a PSA 10. 2 of those Lucario V in the world on a new modern heavy hitters box that everybody could have bought, but only 2 people were able to get a 2 on. A population report, only 2 were able to get a 10. And it sold for $199. So, guys, the price of the box, of that heavy hitters box, the promo card alone could pay for all those packs, and you got to play to grade it and hopefully get a 10. Makes money sense to me. You could take the promo card to grade and get back all your money, and guess what? You go back to Costco or wherever that box was and bought more. I mean, there was a play to be made right there to keep going back to BJ's or wherever they were selling that heavy hitters box to buy the jumbos, break the box, to get those promos out, hold the packs back for your sealed collection, make plays to grade that jumbo card. Just makes sense. Don't take an Einstein to put that together. But if you were following eBay on PSA grading jumbos, then you would have found out that say, oh, I could have made a play with that Lucario V. And if you still have some heavy hitters boxes, might be a play to look at those cards. Because I always make it my business, guys. Every time I see box sets out in the wild, and this is just food for thought, you guys can do whatever you want with it. But every time I go and buy box sets at Walmart and Target, before I even buy, I say, oh, I don't pick up the new Palafin box. Say, oh, I'm going to get this one. We're going to rip that. Guys, I always, if there's a jumbo card in there, this is what I do. And if there's promo cards in there as well, I make it my business. Because I know what I know about jumbo grading cards, and I know about promo cards being gradable too, and box sets, even in the new age of modern, with the new Scarlet Violet, I still know this. It makes sense. I always look for well-centered promo cards, the little cards that are in those boxes, and I also check the centering as best I can on the jumbos. Because if I ever unbox them, guys, just like I unboxed a ton of these Mimikyu EX collection box things, I have a ton of Mimikyus. I always try to look at the centering on the jumbos. Now, these you couldn't look at them because they're inside the box, so that was a different play. But I did it with the Cyclozar EX boxes. Since I was buying them at GameStop, since I was just buying them for $11.50, I just bought the boxes without even looking at the centering because I was going to unbox them anyway, so I could always look at the jumbo cards later on. So because of the play that I made at GameStop buying a slew of those Cyclozar EX collection boxes at GameStop for $11.50 on a $20 box, it made sense just to crack the box, take the packs out, and then sell a little card or hold a little card in a jumbo for later on. So it made sense that I didn't have to worry about centering on that because I was going to GameStop buying a bunch of those Cyclozar EX boxes just for the packs inside. So make it your mindset that when you're going buying like Glaceon V-Star boxes, you know, like these kind of cards and getting those in there with Fusion Strike and other Sword Shield packs that were in those, check the centering, because there is a little card that came with the Glaceon that you can grade as well, and you can grade the Jumbo. Look for well-centered Jumbos and the little cards. Look for the best centering out of all the boxes in there. If you're going to buy one, look for the best centered, because there's a return on investment. If you ever crack the box on your channel for a channel opening, you can take the promo little card, grade it to PSA, grade the Jumbo as well, because you got the best centered one that you could possibly find in the wild. See, without buying every box set, you look at the centering on those cards before you buy for your collection, for your seal collection, or for even ripping to grade those cards. You look at the centering on the cards. All right? So knowing this now, guys, hopefully you can make better sense when you're out there looking at box sets, saying, hey, I know there's plays we make with Jumbo cards. You can even research, see if anybody graded any of those cards before you even buy the boxes and see what they're going for. So you can do research before you even buy the box. Say, hey, you know, there's other boxes out in the wild now that there are plays to be made. So you can do research on eBay, sold completed, for jumbo cards that are out there with the Reggie Drago and other box sets from Crown Zenith and even into the Scarlet Violet era. See what these cards are going for in jumbo form and say, hey, you know what? There's plays to be made. I see these at Target all the time, but I see that Jumbo card goes for $300. Makes sense if I can get a nice centered Jumbo out of that, you know, Scarlet Violet box, whatever it is, the Palafin box, whatever. Take that card, go to Walmart's. Their box can be on the shelf, right? You go and look for the best centered one. You leave the ones that are really slopped to the left, top and bottom, they're off. You buy the best centered one that you can see so far that looks like you might have a possibility of getting a 10. You buy that box, rip it, save the packs, grade the Jumbo. There are plays to be made with that. So knowing that, before you buy any old box set off the shelf, and if you're going to grade the Jumbos, promos, and stuff in that box, look for the best centering that you possibly could find. So at least you're making money sense of the things that the purchase is going to go further than just opening the packs, or the packs just going in your seal collection, that you're making a gradable play, and that's why you buy the box. All right? So the last one I'm going to leave you with, I don't have, well, it might not be the last one, but I'll maybe show you some other plays. The other one I want to share with you guys is the SWSH 184. It is the Jolteon All Art VMAX, which might have came from those that VMAX box that came out where there's three of them, Jolteon, Flareon, and Vaporeon. Maybe it's that box that has an alternate art. I'm not sure if that's the box, but that card on TCG Player, just jot that number down, the SWSH 184. That card, it may be the Jolteon, Flareon, and Vaporeon boxes that they're nice. They go for about $100 now. I don't have any, so I can't show you. But it is the all art that's in those boxes. I believe it's a full art. They do sell it raw on TCG Player. That card goes for $6.08 raw. Now, if you can buy that card and get a 10 gradable specimen for buying multiples, because you obviously got to buy multiples, taking a chance on it, and then resell the ones back, put the posted ones that are not, you know, PSA worthy, put them back on TCG Player and sell them for, you know, $6, 8 cents, or even $5 a piece, just to move them back, regurgitate some money back, so you don't take a total loss on that. Well, you may not take a total loss, because if you get 10s, then you make 100% all your money back, even if the ones that you got weren't gradable. But, guys, on April 8th, 2024, that SWSH 184 Jolteon VMAX All Art sold on eBay in a PSA 10 for $249.99 with a population report of 13 in the entire pop report. Only 13 in a PSA 10. 13 copies in a PSA 10. this just goes to show you guys that, you know, these jumbo cards are in so low pops, all right, that there are plays to be made if you research just the 6 cards that I gave you, and that's all you run with. But it also shows you that you can pave a roadway for gradable jumbos that for population reports on even these EX and GX cards and V star cards that no one even graded yet because there's no history of them on eBay. You'll have the only one on eBay for sale. And at that point, you can name your price. And you can control the price from that point. You control the price because you're the only one with that card on eBay. See? So there are plays to be made with that bed full of jumbos that I got that I couldn't even find population reports on them because none exist. There's none there in the history going back trying to find reports on these for sold completed that they're not there. They're not there. And to buy even more cards, guys, even if you can't find them in your own LGS or people in your own Facebook, you can go on TCG Player, buy those cards, the ones that I'm even talking about here. You can buy them on there because I'm giving you TCG Player pricing where you can go and buy these cards. If no one's really grading them except for a few people on eBay because the sales are showing you that there are no repeated sales after this, it shows you that there is a play to be made and there's a library of products, stock, where you can source the cards that you're going to flip to PSA to grade and sell. So you have a platform where you can buy from without even going on eBay or using Facebook. You go on TCG Player, go to all these sellers, maybe ask them to send you pictures of the fronts and backs of cards if they're willing to do that. Buy from these sellers those gradable 10s, make the profits. And the population reports are low, extremely low on jumbos where they exceed the population reports. The smaller cards exceed the population reports on these jumbos by a lot. But like I said, population report doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because if you have an in-demand card, okay, of a popular Pokemon, just like saying Umbreon, there's 10,000 in a PSA 10 of the All Art Moonbreon, but not enough of those cards to meet the demand for people who want to buy the card. There's not enough of them out there, all right, for people to buy that want it. So it's again, it's a price, market price, and then there's people who will say, well, you know what, how many people in this card show have it? If they're the only ones in there, despite the market, they really control the price to whatever they want on that PSA 10, because if no one else at the show has it, you want it. If you want it bad enough, you might pay up higher than market price for it. So that could happen where if you got these gradable jumbos, no one else has them, the price you name is usually the price someone's going to pay because you can control the price because no one else has it on eBay. You're the only one. And that's where it comes down to, guys, where when your card sells, who's going to put one up, and is it going to be a new listing for a new floor price? So when reality is, if no one has the cards and you got 10 of them or 5 of them in your possession in their PSA 10, you list one, sell it, list another one. No one else has it, so you're probably going to get another person who missed out on it, say, oh, damn, that card went for $199. There's no more on eBay. If you list another one, because you got 5, you're going to continually rinse and repeat and catch people that want that card that missed the opportunity when one last sold. And since you're controlling the last sold completed because no one else has it, you set the price. That's all I'm saying. All right? But there are plays on that card. Like I said, I couldn't find any on this Charizard GX. I'm going to read the chat. I have multiple on the Charizard. Oh, I just dropped that one. That one got dinged, guys. No, I got more copies of that Charizard Reshiram. So I have 4 of that. There are plays to be made, even like with the Hidden Fates, Gyarados, EX, and look at the stack of EX cards I got there. So I got these. The other card, where's that card? It's not there. Let me see what I did. Is it over here? I think it's over here. I didn't see any pop reports on this Rayquaza from Shining Fates. This Rayquaza, now this one, guys, this one could be a 10. Look at the centering on that, top and bottom. Look at the bottom. Look at the top. Look at the side there. Look at the other side, and I'm gonna flip it around to the back. Well, the back looks like there's more meat on the back. Yeah, on this one side, this has a little more meat, but they may comp this at a 10 because the main concern is that centering on the front. That's like 100% dead on. Like, this is a card that I would more than likely send out to be graded PSA. And there's no reports of this card being sold. There's no sold completed on this, guys, for the Rayquaza GX Jumbo Shiny promo. No report on this in a PSA 10 on sold completed that I can find on eBay. So that's a good card that you can send out, you know, and like I said, probably go for good money. I have multiple copies of the Pikachu V-Union. I have even older here. Dawn Wings Necrozma GX, Mewtwo GX, Porygon Z. I only have one of those. And then I got, check this out. Tornadus, Thundurus, and Landorus, legendary Pokemon with the Pokeball, hollow. And this is a nice centered copy here. Got another legendary Reshiram, Zekrom, and Kyurem, legendary Pokemon, hollow. So there's tons of, guys, there's tons of plays. Nobody got these cards up for sale. No one has these up or listing them. There's a gorgeous Snorlax. So I'm just going to go over my cards that I got, like showing you guys. I got gradable plays here that I can make. Snorlax GX. I got all those Marnies. If I want to make those plays, look at a stack of Marnie, Morpeko V-Union, full art cards that were going for $139.90 on a PSA 10. Lucario, V-Stars. Beedrill. I only have one Beedrill EX. I got Tasserina GX. I got multiple copies of that. I'm just going to go over cards. I'm just going to show you guys cards. So I have the Giraffe EX, one of those because I only opened up one. Tapu Koko GX, multiple copies of that. A Nolan Marowak GX. Dragonite V. Zygarde GX. Multiple copies of that. Lugia V. Cinderance V. Multiple copies of Savali GX. Multiple copies of that card. There's multiple copies of that VMAX that I told you about. The promo from the Crown Zenith. Multiple copies of that. Lycanroc GX. All jumbos, man. All jumbos. Gallade EX. I have 4 copies of that. Single Strike Urshifull. Only got a couple copies of that. V. Rapid Strike Urshifull VMAX. Here's all those Cyclozar EX box jumbos that I got from GameStop. Look at the stack there that I opened up all these boxes, got the packs out, sold all the promo cards of the little guys, but I got all these jumbos left. Can grade those. Don't know what they're going to go for. Greninja V Union. Zasamenta V. The Zapdos EX. Zacian V Union from the Zacian V Union box. Double V Champion's Path. Hoopa V. Galarian Surfetch V. Celebrations, the one that came into Celebrations, the Pikachu Celebrations. I only got a couple of those. Eldergrowth V Shiny promo. Got a bunch of those. Infernape V. Boltund V Shiny. Got a bunch of those. Toxtricity V. Ton of those. A Nolan Executor V. Got 4 copies of that. Oinkalong, this was from Best Buy. I only opened one of those boxes. Found one of those. Opened that up. I don't even know if you can still find that box. Boltund V. Got quite a few Boltund V. Galarian Rapidash V. Only got a couple of those. Pikachu V. Got a whole slew of Pikachu V. All of them. There's friggin' about 25, 30 of these. Regidrago V. Raichu GXs. Tons of those. That's from Hidden Fates. The promo. Well, let me get in the camera here. Zacian V Union, V. Regieleki V. Inteleon V. Rillaboom V, Ice Rider Calyrex V, another Pikachu V, but a different card, different picture. Roaring Moon EX Jumbo of Roaring Moon. Dark Sylveon Celebrations. Tons of that. Tons of those cards. Alakazam V. Or Beetle V collection, full art. Look at all those. This is all these boxes that I opened up, man. I opened up so much stuff here on this channel. It's crazy. All those boxes, man. Or Beetle V. Shadow Rider Calyrex V. Hatteran V. Tons of Hatteran boxes. Champion's Path, I believe that is. Lance's Charizard Celebrations. So there are plays to be made, guys. I'm telling you. And then we have, you guys already knew, the Solomon's V full GX full art. The Raichu GX full art. There are two of this Kangaskhan GX. And then I have this other Kangaskhan, the EX. And you got the, oh, there's Kingdra. Kingdra. So Kingdra, Ash's Green Ninjas, ton of those, and then Kingdras, EXs. And you got the Gallade, just showing you how many, Gallade EX. 4 copies of the Gengar. I mean to tell me nobody wants a Gengar graded jumbo and hopefully get a 10 on one of those? What would that go for? No comps on that. There's no comps. Beware a GX. Dragonite EX. Nolan Raichu Hollow with the sparkle, and there's probably swirls in some of these. Probably some of these have swirls. There's a swirl right there on that one. Right there, there's a swirl. So, I mean, you tell me, look at that swirl in that thing. That people wouldn't want this in a graded 10 if you get it. What they'll go for? Crazy. So there are the 3. I got 3 of those Tornadus, Thundurus, and Landorus. And then there's one of the Raikou, Entei, and Suicune. And then I have one of the Reshiram, Zekrom, and Kyurem. And then I have a Darkrai Hollow, level 50. I'm not even sure what Pokemon this came from. It says 2008 Pokemon. DP24, so I don't know what that one's from. Then we have Porygon Z, Mewtwo GX, Darkwing Necrozma, Dragapult. There's another Sylveon. You guys saw that. Tons of that. Charizard GX. You got the 4 of these bad boys. Well, there's 5 total. Got another one down on the floor. I got cards on the floor over there that I'm not going to go over and show. But I got those 4. Charizard, Reshiram. Go for good money. The 2 Charizard GXs. The Pikachu V Union, and there's another one down on the floor. Got the Rayquaza GX Hidden Fates promo, the Blastoise full art. The Glaceon V-Stars. The Marshadow GX. And there's more of those. So, good God. I got a ton of those. Look at all those Marshadows. Ton of Marshadows. Leafeon V, V-Star. Teleon V. Mewtwo EX. Quite a few of those. Darkwing Necrozma GXs. Tons of Charizard EXs. Tons of those. I think these came from the Evolutions boxes when I bought them from BJ's, and they had the Evolution packs in them. I think that's where I got these from. Then we had the Caesar EX, 4 of those. The Urshifu Single Strike VMAX. Meowth VMAX. Crobat VMAX. Decidueye GX Full Art. Skeledirge EX. Moss Buffet EX. Morpeko V Union. The other version of that. Dragapult from Celebrations. Quite a few of those. From all the boxes that I opened up with Dragapult. So, oops, wow. More Charizards, guys. So, there's more. I found another stack. So, all the Charizards. Look at all of these Charizards. Tons of Charizards. GXs. Tons of them. And then I got the cards on the floor here that were part of the presentation. There's another V Union, another V Max. The other V Union. Charizard Reshiram gives us 5 of those. I only have 1 of these bad boys. Alright. And then we have another Regieleki that came from the Crown Zenith that I just unboxed to show you guys that those jumbo cards never were in like a thing. They always flopped out. So that came from Crown Zenith, and that's how I always remember cards coming out, jumbos. It was always the issue with the little cards always being in tabs and getting stuck and getting dinged and hard to pull out, even from the tins. And then in these things, it was ridiculous how damaged the cards were. That was a big issue with people with that. The jumbo cards come out nice and clean. They always popped out. But that's what I got, man. So there's the evidence for the subscribers and people that know me on YouTube that were complaining about me, where I was talking about no investors, or none of the investors or PSA graders were talking about the jumbo cards, and they were saying there's no plays. Tons of plays here. Evidence is in the pudding on eBay, sold completed. People want cards, jumbo cards. There is a market for jumbo cards. History of data shows that they sell, they go for real good money. Even after grading fees, there's profits left on the table at the end of the day. That's the end of the day. There is profits to be made even after you pay a $100 grading fee for certain cards. There are plays to be made if you find them and get a 10. The key is 10s. You're looking for 10s just like you are when you go to card shops, card shows, collecticons, looking for gradable cards. You guys that deal with PSA and you're on the hunt for PSA gradable cards, you're trying to buy collections to get gradable cards, that's the same thing with jumbos. There's no exception. You're going to look for PSA 10s. That's what everybody wants. Everyone wants the 10, and the same play in jumbos are to get 10s. And yeah, it can be hard, especially when you can't find them or nobody has them. But then you're going to have to use TCG Player as a source of, hopefully you can redeem yourself there and buy them cheap enough where you do get 10s, because those guys that are selling them in the store there on TCG Player are not grading them. They never wanted to grade them. They didn't think they can grade them or whatever. And you may find a 10 there. Not saying that you won't, but guys, the population reports are so low on these, and like the whole thing is, reasoning behind you guys going to card shops, card shows, collecticons, is the thrill of the hunt. So this just adds another depth, another hunt for you guys that grade with PSA, that, well, didn't know this. Say, well, you know what? Everybody can say whatever they want to say, because, you know, like I said, in our sealed collection, people are talking about you can't make plays with Modern. SM Pratt and all the other guys try to shoot Modern in the foot. That Modern's uninvestable. Nostalgianomics and a lot of us on YouTube, a lot of other investor bros talking about it, is just knocking that socks off of that, and you still got people complaining. So no matter what I say, there's always going to be those complainers that complain. I'm just going to say, let them complain, and you do what you got to do, because you already know. And if they want to complain, they're not the ones doing what you're doing. So let them complain. I'm going to let those guys complain. If they don't want to make the play, then there's plays open book for anybody who wants to do it. And that's what I'm going to say. So I answered the questions that were of concern, PTZ Trader and the other guy, Truth something, whatever. There you go. Don't do it. All I can tell you, don't do it. While you're under the carpet, we're going to sweep you under the carpet because you don't want to do it, or you don't want to, you don't think there's a play. Don't do it. Don't do it. That's hands down. Don't do it. But the people that already know, they're going to make those plays, and it's going to happen. All right? But the evidence is that you can make plays with this stuff, guys. There are plays in jumbo cards. And despite that, the population report, there are less of these cards out there. You got to find where they're at. You got to find people who got them, and then hopefully they didn't get destroyed. And the further you go back into the older stuff, it may be a little harder to get them things. Yeah, because people threw them away. People didn't know about them, and they were just taking up space. They went into landfills because people threw them out. Maybe some people just threw them out, and that just makes that much more less on the market, which what? Raises the price, raises the bar, because if not too many people are listing them, you're the only ones. So you guys that I'm talking, you set the price. If there's no evidence of someone selling it on eBay, you set the price. You set the price, the floor for it. So people are going to look at the last sold completed. I want the last sold. If you got it there, they're going to say, well, so-and-so had it. He's a 100% seller with excellent feedback, blah, blah, blah. Last sold completed. No matter if they go back 3-4 months ago, your listing is going to be there under the sold completed for that bar, which that person is going to list it. If he's the next person in line, he's going to sell it at your price, or he's going to sell it higher because no one else has it. And that's said and done right there. You set the price, and then someone else can set the new floor. Because if no one's putting these out there and only one is showing up here and there, well, obviously it makes it that much harder to find these cards and get them in a 10. I don't care. That's the chase right there. That's the thrill of the hunt. It makes it more of a chase that, you know, when you get that card and you find a nice 10, you say, you know what? You can pay up a little more than even what the price, the market price is, just to get that sale, because you know that card is going to go for so much money, right? That you can pay more for it. So to get it out of someone's hands that don't want to let it go for market, you can say, well, I'll give you $20. And they may say, all right, I'll take it. And then you say, all right, great. This card goes for $900. I'm going to get that thing. I'm going to send it out, grade it, buy it, sell it, buy it, put it out by itself, grade it, and have it get back. And as fast as I can get it back. And despite that, I'm still going to do good. So that's how you can look at it. If you want to send them in singly or send them in a bunch at a time, there's plays to be made. And that's what I wanted to make of this video, that there is plays to be made with jumbo cards. And yes, not a lot of YouTubers on YouTube are talking about it. And that is true. And that's the truth to that other video that I put out, because they're not talking about it. I'm the only one really talking about it. And yet, some of you guys might know there's plays. You're not making those plays. So I'm just making calls to the table, bringing that to people's attention to let you guys know that, you know, we may be overseeing stuff, you know, that other channels may be going over other stuff, but you need to see the brighter side of things where there's other plays. And in this Pokemon TCG, there's the land of opportunity, and there's the land that the things that no one talks about. And I just wanted to bring it to people's attention that this is where it is. This is what the cards are going for. I don't make these prices up. People who buy them at these prices make those market prices up for us to bring data to you, to show you sold completed sales, and to bring that to your attention that there are plays to be made, despite how hard it might be to get that card in a grade 10. You can't blame it on plungers or tabs on jumbos, because they didn't, to my knowledge, did not exist even throughout the history of Pokemon for jumbos. They always flopped out. The little cards always had the issues. All right, unless someone could shoot me a video of a jumbo card in a tab somewhere, maybe in a Japanese or Korean box or something like that. They may in other countries may have a tab on them, but in U.S. jumbo always flopped out because they were always on the bottom. You always had to lift the lid off, and the jumbo cards in the packs are right there, sitting in another slot, and you just flopped it out. Everything fell out. The jumbo card in the packs fell out. The little cards you always had to fiddle around with. And every time you pull that friggin' thing, the card had an indentation of being in that slit. And that was the problem with the little cards. Never that it was on a jumbo, because none of my jumbos have no indentions on them. They always have perfect corners and everything where there's no indentions on that. The thing is getting jumbos that are well-centered. And that's what's going to make them hard. All right, trying to get well-centered jumbo cards, because some of them can be cropped and then go back to Sun and Moon and XY error. Yeah, those cards are going to be all over the place with cuts and how they were cut. All right, but it may be a little easier to grade the new modern stuff here in Sword and Shield and Scarlet Violet. So all I am is, guys, just telling you guys there's plays to be made with jumbos, bringing that to your attention, and then answering the questions where other people are just like trying to shoot me in the foot on this. I'm bringing it to light to let you know, because it's backed by sold completed and what cards, specific ones. If that's all you look for were specific ones, it graded them. Just like in modern cards or the little cards, people grade specific cards, you know, in little cards, because they know alternate arts, amazing rares, or not amazing rares, alternate arts, illustration rares, art rares, SIRs, I meant. So, you know, when there's plays on those, people are going to grade them. And that's what you grade. Specific, hard to pull cards of popular Pokemon or in demand cards. They're gonna go for good money in PSA 10s. It's just the bottom line. And there's no difference in Pokemon jumbos. There are popular Pokemon on those jumbo cards, and in promos in those cards that are both jumbo and small, that are gonna go for good money, hands down. That's what they're gonna do. So if you just concentrated on buying those specific cards, then you're going to do well with the jumbos selling them, okay? Especially with the population reports. And that's all I bring to the table telling you guys, all right? So with that said, let's go in. It says, gotta run. All right, Harley had to leave. Harley said, guys, make sure you check out Harley from HD. He goes to a lot of the collector cons, and he brings good, solid advice and opinions. and good video. So make sure you go check him out. Check out his videos. With that said, like I said, this is not to knock any people that are grading with PSA for smaller cards. We're specifically talking about jumbo card plays. All right, specifically jumbo card plays. And I know if you go with the little cards that go with those jumbos, because they put a little card in there with some of these jumbos, those little cards may be a little harder to grade than the bigger jumbos. All right? And then again, with this in mind, some jumbo cards might not sell. And whatever grade you get them in, might not sell. It's a risk, and you got to be willing to take that risk. Same with grading your card with PSA in the small form. It's a risk. You're hoping to get a 10, and then you're hoping to get X amount over that, with that in a 10 to increase the price. You're grading to increase the price. Same thing with these jumbos. You're grading to increase that price from $1.20 something, where it goes up to $200, $300 to almost $1,000 card from a $10 investment. So same thing with buying raw cards. When you go out and buy your raw cards, you buy the Umbreon for $400, $500, and then if you get a 10, that thing goes to $1,500. Same thing, but you're doing it in jumbos. You're doing it in jumbos, where it may be a little harder because you're looking for specific popular Pokemon or in-demand alternate arts, tag teams and stuff, which are out there, and promo cards. All right, so with that said, guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you got something out of it, take with it what you got and go with it, guys. I'm not perfect, and I don't know all the answers. I just know the answers to what things that I am researching out, and I'm backing it up today with evidence from solds completed and from prices that you can find right now. Not 2 weeks from my video. You're finding it right now on my videos. You can go on eBay, sold complete, find these things. The videos are current to the data that exists right now. So go to check TCG Player. Pricing is at this point in this day. All right, of June, in the month of June that we're in, this 25th of June, this Monday, whatever the day that we're on. I think it's the 25th. It's current to this date, guys. My data. All right, it's live video, so the data is realistic to this day, true to date. All right, other than that, man, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, like the video, subscribe if you want to hear more content like this and other content. Check out the playlist. Make sure you get entered in for a giveaway. And guys, have a great rest of the day. All right, without further ado, get out there and catch them all, and have a ball. See all of who? All of y'all. In the next video. Do it me now. Peace. Whole lot of love for you and a high five, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace, guys. Have a great one. I'm out of here.